Today's blog is a fill-in-the-blank blog. Answer this question. Are you tired of, and you fill in the blank. I was going to ask, are you tired of the pandemic? I encounter that a lot today. I find myself saying it. COVID got old back in March. But the truth is, the pandemic is only one of the things people are tired of. It's a big thing, maybe the biggest thing, but it's far from the only thing. People are tired of racism, tired of violence and rioting. People are tired of all the partisan bickering in our nation. People are tired of being stuck at home. Tired of worrying about their jobs and the economy. People are tired of watching the news, tired of the election, tired of war, tired of Zoom meetings, tired of kids not being able to go back to school in person, tired of having to make decisions they've never had to make before about opening or closing, about staying at home to work or going to work. The list of things that people are tired of is a long one. So you go ahead and fill in the blank. You know what I'm most tired of? I'm tired of hearing myself complain. I feel like I do a lot of that. There's a lot of complaining going on everywhere right now. About everything. Don't get me wrong, I understand it all. That's what I was doing in the first paragraph of this blog, listing the many things that I and others find to complain about. But sometimes I really get discouraged by all the complaining I hear myself doing. The guilt weighs on my heart. After all, I'm a pastor. I should be a voice of God's hope during all the complaining, not simply another voice offering a complaint. Maybe you know what I mean. Perhaps you beat yourself up about the same thing. I'm a Christian, you say. I shouldn't be complaining so much. I should be a voice of hope to people. But if you can't complain, what else do you do with the things you're tired of? That made me think about these words from Luke 22. It's the night before Jesus has to suffer and die. He'd endured a lot. Do you think he ever tired of it all? Do you think he was tired of his disciples misunderstanding him and of having to correct them? Do you think Jesus grew tired of all the religious leaders who should have known better trying to trip him up, trying to trap him, trying to get him to fall? Do you think he was tired of all the people constantly coming day and night with all their demands, with all their needs to him? In the Garden of Gethsemane, you can see some of this at work. Knowing that the suffering and death of the cross lay ahead of him the next day, our text says that Jesus was in agony. I want you to look at what he did with that agony. Luke tells us he prayed more earnestly. He didn't complain to everyone else. He took his agony to God. He laid his burdens at the feet of his Father. He sought others to pray with him, yes. He invited his disciples to watch and pray, but they fell asleep. In the days of his suffering, the Bible tells us that Jesus offered up prayers and supplications with loud cries and tears to him who was able to save him from death, and he was heard because of his reverence. That's why Jesus was able to carry the burden God laid on him, was able to carry our burdens. He carried them to the cross where he suffered and died under the load of all that wears us out. He bore them up triumphant, overcame and conquered them all on the third day when he was raised to life again. And now he invites you, invites me to bring those things to God. Come unto me, all you who are weary and burdened, he says, and I'll give you rest. That's his promise to us. You know, there is a hymn that urges us to learn of Jesus Christ to pray. From him we learn to do what to do with anything and everything we're tired of. We learn to pray more earnestly, to give our burdens to Jesus, to let him carry them, indeed, to let him carry us through everything, even through this never-ending pandemic. Amen. Amen.